radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. How you doing? It's Thursday night. It is FADERNIGHT. That's right. Thursday in the chair, October 4th, 2018, 280 days into the new year. Just 85 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of beautiful downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I am your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? Tonight is another Fader night. Open lines all night long. The call-in numbers are, write them down, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Bottom of the hour. John Rappaport will not be with us tonight. He's out doing his thing. So we are going to go to open lines straight to it at the bottom of the hour. Okay, so get ready for that. Yeah, I posted over at On Stellar today. All right, let me get comfortable. I'm all excited. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. Open lines all night long. And after the week that we had here, after the month, after the year that we have had on this show, this is one of the most amazing Fader nights we're ever going to have. I mean, think about that for a second. Just for a second, think about that. I'm going to set it up for you. It's kind of like bowling. That's right. I set it up, you knock him down. That's why we're here. Unbelievable. All right. On Stellar. I posted over at On Stellar today. I'm going to go over there and check this out in real time. I posted over at On Stellar my little rant from last night about chaos and entropy, right? So, and looking at everybody's comments over there, there it is. Our world of chaos and entropy. And I enjoy doing that. When I rant, I am just letting my mind go. You know, and that's it. I'm just letting my mind go. It's my observations of the world. And tonight, so I posted that over at OnStellar, and you can go check that out, onstellar.com, ONSTELLAR.com. Go and check it out. We had a very strange and busy day over at the house today. But anyway, nonetheless, I didn't get a chance to, tweet it out and Facebook and stuff. Other things going on. But I'm a big social media guy. And I'm very aware of what the internet and social media is doing to our society, the effect of it. And that's what not only social media, but all of media. But that's what this article is about. I'm going to continue this tonight because what ended up happening today, last night and today, after that, and I posted today, it's a very strange thing. So, again, it's like bowling. I set it up, you knock them down. We're going to do that again tonight. Very concerned. Okay, now you can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. That is simple. Facebook. Oh, man. YouTube. Oh, man. Everything is Jimmy Church or Fade to Black. You can go and do that. Follow, like, and subscribe over at jimmychurchradio.com. It's very simple. Big social media guy. And you can follow us on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Also, inside of that, we use TweetDeck. And thank you for all of the dancing gifts. I see them here. Pretty good. Pretty good. Hashtag F2B is, no John Rappaport tonight. He's got some family things and some other, how do I say this? Some health reporting that he is working on, and he's on the road. He's not even in the state that he lives in right now. And we were hoping to do this from the road tonight, but just things are impossible. So that's it. Okay. All right. Now, phone calls already. Everybody settle down with that. I'll open up the phone lines at the bottom of the hour. But anyway, hashtag F2B is the sandbox. You can come and join us over there. Got any words on this chaos? No, Mark, actually, I don't, because I really don't care about that stuff. Okay. All right, you can care all that you want. That's fine. That's fine. But I don't jump on those bandwagons. Okay, so hashtag F2B and hashtag F2BQ is Fade to Black questions. And there you go. Okay, so email is Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. You can hit me up there. Breaking news. And it's breaking news like this that forces me to drink some coffee. There's much bigger stuff going on out there right now than other things. Like this. Russian Deputy Attorney General Sak Karapetyan, the Russian official accused of directing the foreign operations of Natalia Veselnitskaya, the lawyer who met senior Trump campaign officials in 2016, has been killed in a helicopter crash. This story broke right before the show tonight. Karapetyan was exposed in a Swiss court this year for a plot to enlist another nation's law enforcement official as a double agent for the Kremlin. Media reports in Russia say now that he died last night when his helicopter crashed into a forest during an unauthorized flight in the Kostroma region northwest of Moscow. How do you like that? Just sit for a second and digest what I just said to you. Also, breaking today, former rap mogul Marion Suge Knight was sentenced today to 28 years in state prison, nearly 4 years after he killed businessman Terry Carter and injured another man outside of a Compton, California burger stand back in 2015 when they were filming Straight Outta Compton. The 53-year-old producer and Death Row Records co-founder struck a surprise plea deal with prosecutors about 14 days ago. Just a few days before his trial for murder and attempted murder was set to begin here in Los Angeles. Knight pleaded no contest to voluntary manslaughter and agreed to a prison sentence of 28 years. But this is the thing. Voluntary manslaughter is normally, it's 11 years, maybe even less than that. But now He hit the 3 strikes law as a felon. So that was that. And then there was at a time, the time was doubled and so forth, and it came down to 28 years. With that, they dropped a couple of other charges in this plea deal, and that's it. 28 years in prison. He's 53 years old. It's a life sentence. There you go. That's what happens. 3 strikes law comes in. That's it. That is it when you are a felon. So let's do the math here. 28 and 53. That's 81. That's 80. He'll be 81 years old if he lives that long. Suge Knight. And I got to say, and especially back in the heyday of Death Row Records, the heyday, I'm trying to think of that studio that they used on Ventura Boulevard. Can-Am Studios, Can-Am. I could be wrong. I could have just gotten that completely wrong. But his assistants and his people and things, when I was over at Guitar Center, they would come over, driving Ferraris and these crazy cars. And I remember this one white Ferrari convertible with a black and white tiger skinned seats. I don't know if it was a real tiger or not, but I just remember the car. And I remember the power and the wealth, and it was it was Snoop Dogg and crazy money and fame, and everything was just going right. And Suge blew it. He blew it. And that's why I say former rap mogul. There was a time in LA, man, when that was it was it. It's all gone now. All gone. Why? You're filming a movie. This is the thing. You're filming a movie straight out of Compton. Everything is going right. And you run somebody down in a parking lot because you got some, and that's it. Now it's all over. There you go. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. It is just $2 per month. That's right. We have over 900 archive shows right there. Just $2 a month. Click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. Do both. You can also become a FADERNIGHT in our membership section over at jimmychurchradio.com, where you get those. Did you see the pictures of Connie today in her fade to black gear? And Connie Vance, that was a really cool photo. And she sent it to me. She sent it to me over at On Stellar, actually. That's where it popped up. There she is, Connie Vance right there. And you can get your gear, too. She got hers. Let's go to the membership area. That hat that she looks so great in wearing, that fade to black embroidered hat right there, you can only get from our membership section on the site. It is not for sale. We don't give them away. There is only one way for you to get it. That's right. Become a game changer. And you get the full setup, okay? And you also get, with the Game Changer, you get a full year of downloads, commercial-free MP3s. You get the bunker cam. You get an email to me. You get all of that stuff. And you can do that over in our membership section on the site. And when you're there, jimmychurchradio.com, we're doing some massive upgrades to the site, too. We just wanted a fun place for all of you to hang out. And so when you're over there, visit all of our sponsors. Just click on their banners: River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend, of course, Ancient Life Oil, and Get the Tea, LifeChangeTea.com, Numana Food Storage. And, of course, everybody knows I've lost all of this weight, and I have, and I feel great. And that's because of the Fast Start Diet. Fast Start Diet, 3 days. It's a 3-day diet. Yeah, you're fasting. But you get the food. You get day number 1, day number 2, day number 3, and you get all kinds of little bonus free gifts and all that stuff. But it's a 3-day diet, and look, you're going to look at that. Unreal, huh? Yeah. Fast Start Diet. Go and click on their banners right there at jimmychurchradio.com. Let's get this show cracking. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. It's open lines all night long. I am so happy to be here to hang out with all of you. So let's get the show cracking. Happy birthday to today, Alicia Silverstone. Today is 42 years old. One of the funniest movies ever made in the history of Hollywood, Clueless. She will always... Look, go do yourself a favor. Go and look at the cast of Clueless. That is a cast. That movie is just great right there. And it made Circus Liquors pretty famous right there on, what is that? Is that Van Owen and I guess that would be like Cahuenga? Circus Liquors. What's the name of her dress? I'm going to divert this over to TweetDeck. What dress is she wearing when they mug her in the Circus Liquors parking lot? What did she say? This is a Vera Wang. Something like that. What did she say? Warp drive technology and the manipulation of extra dimensions. That is an old document. I've had that. Walter, thank you for posting that. I've had that on my hard drive for almost 2 years, just to let you know. That was sent to me, not 2 years, but it was definitely sent to me a year ago at least. There you go, before it made it out there on the web. But yeah, it's a cool document. It's a fun document. It is, I would say, great science fiction. That's what that is. That's what that document is. Alicia Silverstone today is 42. Russell Simmons today is 61. Susan Sarandon today is 72, who was amazing last season in Ray Donovan. But also today is Liev Schreiber. Today he is 51, and last season he was also pretty good in Ray Donovan. Christoph Waltz today is 62. One of my favorite actors, and of course he played Colonel Hans Landa in Inglourious Bastards. He was also pretty good. Played the doctor in Django Unchained. Today, Christoph is 62. I do believe, and if you go and look at Christoph's IMDb page, pretty much he did all foreign language stuff leading up to Inglourious Bastards. And there is an urban legend floating around here in Hollywood that Christoph spoke his lines phonetically. He didn't understand. He didn't know what he was saying. He just did the lines. I don't know how true that is, but it's a great story, and you know what? I'm sticking to it. What was the name of her dress? What does she say? Alicia Silverstone. When they throw her on the ground, what was the line? You can't do that. This is a Vera Wang. I always want to say Vera Wang. I know it's not a Vera Wang. Maybe it is. I don't know. Somebody help me out. That. Yes, Walter, we know about the document, brother. That has been out. Walter just found a new document. He's all excited. It's been out for a year. But Walter, spend some time tonight reading it. It's pretty good. Okay. Walter found the Warp Drive document on Corey's website. Okay. Where am I at? On this day in history. Can you tell I'm in a good mood? I'm in a good mood. On this day in history, 1957, the Soviet Union kicks off the space age with the launch of Sputnik. The world's first artificial satellite happened on this day in 1957. Fader fact. Okay, here you go. Are you ready? I know, Walter, I'm giving you a hard time, man, but enjoy it. Okay, I haven't seen you in a while. It's been a while. I remember Walter and I sitting next to a fireplace in this little bungalow in the middle of the desert. We're having a Fader party, discussing John Teeter. Yeah, he found out some stuff that night about John Teeter. Hey, Walter, keep it on the down low. I saw what you were doing last night. You're gonna cause a fire here. We don't need certain things to get out. You know, we need to enjoy our position here when it comes to John Teeter, right? We can't blow our cover. Think about that for a second. Fader fact, 1965. Are you ready? A U.S. Senate subcommittee predicted that by the year 2000, Americans would be working only 20 hours per week with 7 weeks of paid vacation per year. That's right. That was the prediction in 1965. Well, I guess we're working 60 hours a week. We have no paid vacation, and we have nothing else. So there you go. It just goes to show you how smart our U.S. Senate is. Tonight is Thursday. It is another Fader night. Open lines all night long. I'm going to bust them open in about 10 short minutes. So get ready for that. The call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Sure thing, Boris Church. That's funny. Boris and Natasha. Okay, what are their last names? What is Boris's last name? Don't Google it, because if you Google it, then you're going to get it right, and I'm going to know it. So just take some guesses. What's Natasha's last name? Yeah, I want to see it rapid fire. Don't Google it. Just show me how smart you are. Okay? All right. Boris and Natasha, what are their last names? And 818-921-6929. Last night, I talked about entropy and chaos. How every segment of society has come completely unhinged. And I had mentioned that every single form of media has joined in. Every city, every country on this planet. You want proof? Okay, I've got it for you. Are you ready? Last night. Seriously, here you go. Last night on Tucker Carlson Tonight, Tucker and conservative commentator and author Ann Coulter ended up slamming The View, you know, that talk show during the day, saying that the daytime talk show has turned into a far-left anti-Trump propaganda show. Now, Tucker comes back with and added that what used to be a breezy and light daytime talk show has become deranged propaganda from the left. Right. Now, the two, right, Carlson and Coulter, couldn't have been more correct. Absolutely 100% spot on. That's right. Tucker could have also mentioned that so has everyone else. Everybody has become deranged, unhinged, unglued. Both sides and the middle. The extremes are, I don't even know how to put it, if at all possible. The extremes are extreme. Everybody, that's right. And it's just not the news and its programming. It's all of it. It's daytime, nighttime talk shows. It's entertainment. It's comedy. It's sitcoms. Every talking head on television, in the media, right now, has that crazed, deranged look in their eyes. That real crazy eyes look. For real. That crazy eyes thing. The insane part of it is that each side, each outlet, all of the players, everybody actually believe in what they are saying. Because in large part, and you have to listen to me, listen to what I'm saying, they are all correct. Now, how can it be? How can the extreme left, the crazy liberals, be right? And how can the crazy, insane, far right conservatives be right? How can they both be right? How can the middle be right? They're all right. They're all correct. They are. They all believe in what they are saying because they are right. Think about it. Everybody has gone nuts. And the further that it goes, the more fuel that is thrown on the fire. And we find ourselves in a never-ending catch-22 that nobody can stop. And they, all of them, are the ones that started it. Only they can stop it. That's what's going on here. They're right. the far left liberals are blaming the craziness on the far right, and they're correct. The far right is pointing at the crazy liberals on the left and how crazy they have gotten, and they are right about that too. They are, and it's gotten so extreme and so nutty, and what's left in the middle that are trying to play both sides, they are equally as nuts. Everybody's gone crazy. They can't stop it. They're the ones responsible. And the more that they point at the other, the more crazy it gets, the more inflamed out it gets, the more red-pilled and nutty this whole society of ours worldwide has gotten. And that's the truth. Only they can stop it. Now, I'm calling for it. I'm calling for a giant global timeout. Everybody to the corner. A truce. Is it possible? No, it's not. But think about this. Yeah, crazy eyes. That's good, Eric. That's the talking heads right now. That gets a retweet. That right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you see on TV right now. Right there. Crazy eyes. I'm just going to do this. It's every talking head on TV. Every talking head on TV looks like this. Boom. Done. Everyone. Crazy. Is it possible that at the next Bilderberg meeting that they all get together in a dark room and say, hey, you know what? Enough is enough. Probably not. But that's what it would take. The ratings would crumble. Advertising revenue would tank. Clicks on the internet would disappear. Right? So, wow. It ain't going to happen, is it? Think about it. This living, breathing catch-22 makes money. A lot of it. The ratings for CNN and Fox, those lead to Google, which lead to YouTube, which lead to Facebook and Twitter, and then it turns around and cycles back again. In the middle of it, you have Verizon, GM, Honda, Budweiser, Coke, Big Pharma, Apple, everything, all of it. And then there's everything that's in between. You have all the travel and the airlines and credit cards and foods. It's a vicious, gnarly catch-22 circle, dude. That's right. So what would it take to put a stop to the madness, the chaos? Let's work backwards. It would have to be something bigger than them. It would have to be a situation that would stop the money. It would have to stop the internet. It would have to stop the system. Something that would take everyone's emotions, everyone's, yours, mine, everybody's, society, this planet, and point them in another direction. Away from all of this petty anger and finger pointing that has gotten so out of control that right now it's actually quite dangerous. A global banking collapse? Perhaps. Yeah, it's possible. It would have to be the big one, though. How about a natural disaster, right? A CME, coronal mass ejection, an asteroid maybe. You know, that would shut down the net, but it's likely not going to happen. And last year we had dozens of hurricanes. It seemed like it never ended. And all of that natural disaster and the effects that it had, we had them both here. We had them over in the Pacific too as well, right? But it didn't have any effect of taking the misdirection off of the agenda. It didn't happen. And not only that, the net survived them all. What about war? Right? Well, this one scares me, and it's easy and always, it's just a push button away. You only need an excuse for that one. Nothing like, uniting the country with some big crazy invasion somewhere. And it seems like China is being set up for that right now, and I'm a little bit nervous about that. We see all of this playing out. And this time around, the shutting down of the web would probably be on the table. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? I'm not some kind of fear-mongering guy. That's not what I'm about. But think about that for a second. What would it take to stop the chaos? How about a fake alien invasion? Right? There you go. False flag. This is the plan that would not only work, but it would everyone would get behind it instantly. You wouldn't have to shut down the net. In fact, everyone would love their brothers and sisters once again, and the ratings would be huge. You would do that during sweeps week. You know what? Everybody would love it. That's right. Even China. So there you go. It's Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight is Fader Night. Open lines all night long. I'll be right back after this short break with your phone calls. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back with your phone calls next. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Times are changing. The circus of politics, healthcare's low standards and high prices. And let's not forget food quality. What to do? Arm yourself with Life Change Tea at GetTheTea.com. In a world of chemical imbalance and poor air and water quality, it's time you make a move. Log on to GetTheTea.com and stock up on organic non-GMO supplements. Don't forget the tea. Cleansing your body never felt so good. And we have a brand new tea called Takedown Tea, which helps support healthy glucose. All natural body support so you can be at your best, naturally. All you have to do is log on to GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. We're not a fad that comes and goes. We are the real deal. Join us and armor up. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com. Changing America's health one tea bag at a time.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Do you want to lose weight but have no idea where to begin? The Fast Start Diet, a 3-day weight loss plan, is the answer. 3 days of nutritionally balanced, calorie-restricted meals delivered right to your door. No shopping, no measuring, and no cooking. Everything is prepared for you and ready to eat at home or on the go. The Fast Start Diet has all the amazing benefits of intermittent fasting without starving. We've helped thousands of people who have struggled to reach their weight loss goals. Isn't it time we helped you? With the Fast Start Diet, you'll lose weight and feel great.
Find Fast Start Diet on Amazon or go to faststartdiet.com and use promo code TALK to get 10% off your first box. And as a special bonus, Fast Start will include their #1 rated Lipo3 appetite suppressant spray free with your order. This is Jimmy Church. And whatever your diet plans are, do what I did. Go to faststartdiet.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. It's Thursday night. It is Fader Nights. Open lines all night long. Phone lines are open now. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. It's Thursday nights, Fader Nights. The best night of the week. Love hanging out with all of you. And let's see what's going on. We had an amazing week this week. We had Chance Gardner on, Magical Egypt, and then I was also on the Magical Egypt Symposium. I did that yesterday. That was so much fun. And was that yesterday or did I do that Tuesday? Chance, I can't even remember. What did we do Monday? What a crazy week. It's just been a crazy week. Last night, Jason Rice was here. 20 and Back Insider Secret Space Program, and my lab. Wow, what a conversation that was last night, and everything that we went through last night with the phones and everything else. So we've got a lot to talk about this week, and there you go. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to area code 780. You're up first on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Jimmy Church, my friend. It's Laird.
Hey, Laird, how are you, man?
Well, I can't complain. I'm happy I got a hold of you because your time's coming up here quick. You're turning double nickels this month, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Double nickel. Yep. 55.
Yeah. Me too. November 1st.
Wow, 55.
Yeah, no kidding. 3 weeks. I was born 3 weeks before they killed Kennedy.
Yeah, and well, sort of. I was too. I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
Product of 63.
Yeah, that's right. And every time I think of 55, I think of Sammy Hagar. I don't know why that is. Maybe somebody can help me out, but there you go. I just read there was something about Scotland that I had read earlier this week, and it was really crazy news. I got to think about that for a second and let that come back to me. What's on your mind tonight, Laird?
No, I just wanted to talk to you. It's been a few days.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and I hope all is well in your world. Did you listen to the show last night with Jason Rice?
No, I missed it. Was it an Egypt thing?
No, it was a secret space program thing. It was a pretty good show.
Yeah, no doubt. I'll catch up on it.
Yeah, you need to. We had a lot of funky things that were going on, Laird. We had just weird. I don't want to damage you. Just go and listen to it and get back to me. It was pretty interesting. It was a pretty interesting show.
I appreciate that, even though I am damaged. I could use a little more.
Laird, let me say this now as we depart. Happy birthday.
And same to you, my brother, and many more.
Thank you so much, Laird. One of the original Fadernauts right there. Thank you, Laird.
Okay, good night, Jimmy.
Yeah, behave and be well. Laird, when I say one of the original Fadernauts, I am not kidding. Laird has been with us since the very beginning of the show. Let's go to area code 408. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Deb from Sacramento. How are you?
I'm doing good, Deb. How are you? Happy Fader night to you. What's on your mind?
Thank you, and happy birthday in advance. You know, you've got to stop telling people your age because you do not even look like you're in your 50s, so keep a lid on it.
Yeah, you know.
Seriously.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, if I told everybody I was 45, then they're going to go, nah, dude, you look more like you're 50. So, I'd rather say I'm 55 and have somebody go, you look like you're about 45. Well, and then, okay, all right.
There you go.
That's how my brain works. So, what's on your mind?
Well,
What's on your mind?
I have a couple answers. The Alicia Silverstone dress, I hung up and called in, so I don't know if someone tweeted or emailed, but it was an Alaya, I think.
Oh, Alaya. Okay, there you go. That makes sense.
And then I'm going to take a guess at the Boris and Natasha because they're Russian. I'm going to say Romanov.
I believe. Okay, this is my mind. I could be wrong. I believe it's Boris Badenov and Natasha even worse.
That's probably right.
I think
Badenov. That's why I was thinking Romanov because it kind of sounds like it. The Romanovs are, a typical Russian name, and the cartoon was pretty stereotypical. Popeye the Sailor. I don't know. It's just a wild guess.
You get the joke, right? Get it? Boris Badenov and Natasha even worse. Get it?
Bad enough and even worse.
Right. Yes. I think that's what it is. That's that goes back to my childhood. That's what I remember.
Oh, me too.
So I'm saying the last names. So I could have it wrong. Yeah. It could be Mandela effect. I don't know. But I believe it's Boris Badenov and Natasha even worse. And again, I could be wrong.
You're probably right.
Somebody's going to correct.
You have a good memory.
Somebody's going to correct me, so it doesn't really matter.
We'll see. Hey, I figured out what went on with your phones. Two options. It's either the CIA, because his last thing he said before he got cut off was, and I quote, he said, "The cabal has a pretty tight grip on every country that has a national banking system." And just as he said that, boom, he was gone. You lost him.
Yeah, it was
so
pretty strange.
He was trying to make a point about the cabal, and then boom, you lost him.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance today. I was very busy. I didn't get a chance to go back and listen to the show. I did get a ton of email and comments and stuff about it, but there was that. But it was the way that the phone system here started going haywire, and I'm going to guess and say that at one point I had 5 phone calls from him coming in at the same time that were all voicemails. And
I know, I've heard them. It was crazy.
It was backwards, and I can't explain that. And then I had a bunch of him calling in directly, and I turned them all off. Right, I disconnected every single phone line, but the audio was still there and still playing multiple times, overlapping each other. And I was just watching the screen go. That's it. I don't know. It was just funny.
It was really fun watching you on the bunker cam, especially when the whistling started in your mouth. What the bleep?
Yeah, well, and see, I'm so acclimated to it now, Deb. I just whatever. It was fun. It was cool. It was like radio gold. You just kind of just let it all happen. So there you go.
Well, the other option that I came up with is, how they always say that November is the month of the year where the veil is the thinnest between the spiritual realm and our realm. So I'm going to say you had a little bit of haunted ghost lines there. Who knows?
Yeah, it was fun. That's all I can say. Deb, behave and be well. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you right here on Monday.
Thank you too. Take care, dear.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And on Monday, I had said earlier, if if there is noise in this line here, I can see it coming in. Yeah, you got to turn me off in the background. Turn me off. See, I can see it. You see how I did that? Okay. All right. The paper that I had brought up, and I think I mentioned it on the Magical Egypt symposium, and I brought it up, I think, on Monday or Tuesday. That author is going to be on with us on Monday. So get ready for that. Let's go to area code. Is that 214? Is that 214? You're up next.
Hey, Jimmy, it's Jake from Dallas, first-time caller.
Hey, Jake from Dallas, first-time caller. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. I missed the intro to your show, so I apologize if you guys already covered it, but this is worth talking about.
What's that?
In the last couple hours, there's been some really exciting Q posts. I don't know if you're aware of them. Have you seen them?
Mm-mm. What got posted?
So, his first post was pretty simple, pretty enticing. He just asked, "Anon's ready?" Then 30 seconds later, he says, "Memes ready?" And then about a minute after that, he says, "Are you ready to see arrests? Are you ready to see pain? Are you ready to be a part of history?" How about that?
And well,
no.
and
well, that was the end of the post there. I just wanted to have a shout out to David Wilcock. I hope he's listening. If he is, David, please call in. I want to hear your take on all this.
Yeah, well, see, my take on all of that, and anybody listening to me right now, we have been hearing about, not only from David, but all over the place, about sealed indictments and 85 million people are about to be arrested, and this is all going down, and here we go. Well, okay. I'm holding my breath. That's all. It just has to happen. All right, let me ask you this, Jake. Are you tired about it? Do you actually think something is going on? Do you believe that there are 185 million sealed indictments? Do you think that half of the United States is about to get arrested? Do you really?
Yeah. My patience is definitely wearing thin,
right?
To be honest with you,
and I know that
at last count there was 55,000 sealed indictments,
right?
And I've been tracking that, and I've been following it since November when Q first came on the scene,
right?
And he always said, trust the plan and have patience. And yeah, like I said, my patience is wearing thin.
Right.
But
and I've been, and David has had some really, really good insiders and really good information, and I trust in so many different things. When it comes to this, we are not talking about. There's a difference here. We are not talking about Nibiru entering the solar system. We're not talking about the possibility of that. That's not what we're talking about here. We're not talking about prophecy. We're not talking about a Nostradamus end of times. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the court system, the legal system, seal indictments, and that now we're talking about very, very, very specific real world scenarios. Okay, so when you're talking about stuff like this, it better come to pass. That's all that I'm saying. I've gotten to the point now where I'll just wait for the day that it starts to go down. I don't react to it anymore like I used to.
I hear you. I understand where you're coming from. I got a feeling you're not going to be holding your breath much longer. I think it really is right around the corner.
Well,
Q constantly said Red October, and I think that's really what it means.
Well, if
just in time for the midterms.
Well, think about what it will do to reputations out there like David's and others that have been talking about this, where actually this really does happen, and suddenly it opens up the door to all of the other situations that have been laid out in front of us. And I'm talking about control of governments. I'm talking about governments and control and banking systems and good and evil and the fight that is going on. Suddenly, this all becomes a part of our reality. Everybody else's, not just our community, but this becomes a world situation. And how great that would be if this actually comes up and surfaces for everybody to see. Not just inside of our community. We've been talking about this for a long time. But I'm talking about the world stage where this actually it gets revealed. Then that's a good thing. But man. Okay, so we'll see. And you know what? What will this do? What would happen to the reputation of Q and all of the publicity that Q has had into the mass media and the coverage that it has had if the midterms come and go? And nothing happens. There are no sealed indictments that are revealed. No arrest happened, and that now we've got to wait 2 more years? And then Q becomes insignificant, and it just turns out it's just been a joke played on you and me and everybody else. So let's just see.
I can't see it going that way. There's been far too many instances where his predictions have already come true. And like for instance, John McCain's death. somebody asked Q, when was John McCain going to face justice? And his response was, every dog has his day. And if you go and look at the calendar, the day that John McCain died was International Dog Day. You know, there's just so many little cryptic things like that where he's proven to be correct.
Right.
And, you know, you're right. If what you said turned out to be the case where nothing happened, gosh, you know, it would go away and we would all be even grow. Well, I just really don't see it that way. I don't see it happening.
And Jake, this is something else that I have been talking about for the last couple of days, which is, you know, chaos and what the internet and social media and mass media has done to everybody to play on emotions. And this is another example of that, in where posts from Q and others and videos that people post in response to Q and getting everybody emotionally wrapped up in this. That's the power of the internet. You know, I hear the passion in your voice right now, you know, so I'm aware of that. But it's also what would happen emotionally to everybody if all of this, you know, that has got so much invested in all of this, like yourself and others. I mean, Q is a very influential poster these days. I mean, seriously, what would happen if everybody just got the carpet yanked out from underneath them? You know, and I'd be absolutely devastated. I know, and I don't want to see that. So let's just wait. You know, it's all cool. Take a deep breath. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Life will still go on. So think about that, Jake. And don't be a stranger, man. You know how much we love first-time callers here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, you too.
That's a great phone call right there. It's exactly what I have been talking about when I am referring to emotions and what has been happening and this unraveling. I don't want to see that. We need to somehow get a timeout going on. Let's go to area code 323. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Dave in South L.A. How you doing?
Hey, Dave in South L.A. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. First off, I wanted to answer the question on Boris and Natasha. I think it's up there in the sandbox, but if listeners aren't in the sandbox, it's Boris Badenov with the V and Natasha Fatal.
Oh, Natasha Fatal. Right, that was it. Yeah.
That's the easy question. That's the easy question.
Man,
difficult question.
What's that?
What opera does the last name of Boris come from?
Okay, you got me there. You got me.
What novel feature the characters Boris and Natasha?
What novel? Okay.
Yes, indeed.
That's good. David, you got me, man. Okay, answer to number one.
Number one, Boris Godunov.
Is that right?
Good to bad, you get bad enough. Or bad enough.
Okay.
Second, Boris and Natasha were characters from War and Peace.
Is that right?
You can verify it.
Rita just posted that I'm a downer.
Yeah, we still love you, but
she's funny. What do you think about these Q posts? What do you think is actually going on there?
I don't follow Q. I don't hold my breath. Just not grabbing my attention right now. With all these things that might be sound a little incredible, I've got a wait and see attitude. Don't hold my breath, and until something is really, really, really there, I'm not going to spend my time on it.
Okay, yeah, you know what? That's a good way to go. That's a good way to go. If you go that road, Dave, you won't be wrong. You won't be bummed out, and you know what I mean. That's the right. Yeah. That's the right way to go. That's That's the best advice.
I listened to the guest yesterday, and same thing, but. I heard him out and listened to everything he said, and it's like, okay, time will tell.
Yeah,
time will tell.
I think that this community and has the right way of handling Mr. Rice, which is the same way that they dealt with Corey, same way that they dealt with Emery, which is we will give everybody the opportunity. That's it, and we'll see. We'll make up our own minds, but we'll give it time. And, I think the jury is still out, and it has to be that way, which is cool. If you go back and you listen to Corey's first show here on Fade to Black, or Corey's first show on Coast to Coast, or when Corey was at the Conscious Life Expo a couple of years ago, you remember his voice? He couldn't even talk, and but we just allowed time and the opportunity to speak and answer questions and move forward. And that's what you have to do with Jason. That was his first time doing radio last night. And he got through it. Somehow he did. It ain't easy, man. It's not. It is not. And when you're going through this and literally on the hot seat, you're doing that, but you're always thinking about who is out there listening, which is not the way to go and on a radio show. But you can't help it be that way when it's your first time on. The last thing that I think about, Dave, and you know this, is I don't think about how many people are listening to this show. I don't. It's right now. It's just you and I. But I've had to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of broadcast to get to that point. And him coming on this show for the first time last night, man, that's tough. It ain't easy. Well, Dave, thank you for the phone call. Thank you for stumping the panel. You did good there. War and Peace, I had no idea. And Natasha Fatal, you're absolutely right.
I'll let you go with one question.
What's that?
To marinate on. And this is not just a turn of phrase, but is time long or is it wide?
Why can't it be both? Why can't it be both? Why can't it be both? This is okay. Then I'll let you stew on this. Time, we know, goes in one direction. That's what you can't go backwards with time. At least that's what we believe because of watches and clocks and everything. Okay, so I get that. But when you're in space, if you're out there floating in space, now time is going to go in any direction that you're pointing at or looking at. That's a bizarre thing. Right now, our Earth is rotating in one direction, right? The sun is coming up every 24 hours. We're dealing with all of that. But out there in space, you don't have that. So how would time feel out there? And the direction that you're facing in is the direction of time. So could you go backwards in it? That's all. And the reason why I bring that up is because of space-time, and the possibility of other dimensions and string theory and how this starts to come into play. Well, I'm not so sure. And with one other thought, a galaxy spirals, right? Right?
Yep.
Right? Okay, so if it's spiraling, each ring of the spiral is older than the ring that's in front of it, closer to the center, right? Right? So what would happen if you jumped from one spiral to the other? If you went in or went out? What happens to time then? Okay? Chew on that and have a great weekend, Dave.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Absolutely. Dave from South Central Los Angeles. I'm going to take a break right here. It is Thursday night. It's open lines all night long. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. If you're on hold, stay right there. I'll get to everybody. That's what it is. It's open lines all night long. It's Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA the planet. Stay with me. I'll be right back.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Folks, this is very important information. What's to be said about CBD? AncientLifeOil.com. Our CBD is made from hemp and has 0.003 THC, which means this wonderful product won't get you high, no matter what amount you take. What does CBD do for the body? My hands are tied. But you can Google CBD benefits and be astounded. When you're finished reading, you'll want to log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com and purchase. Life is good when you feel good. People are tired of pain. People are asking for non-GMO organic products to help them with you fill in the blank. Legal in 49 states, and again, our CBD is made from hemp. Ancient Life Oil is about helping people one by one by one. If you wonder how good the product is, the CEO takes it every day without miss. AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Have a great day.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
Reclaim your active lifestyle with Angioprim. Angioprim is the original liquid oral chelation supplement. Chelation helps remove toxins, heavy metals, and cholesterol in your veins and arteries that can cause blockages. Scientific research proves the active ingredient in Angioprim has superior oral chelation action that helps promote cardiovascular health. Find out more. Go to angioprim.com. Talk to a trained consultant by calling Angioprim toll-free 877-882-7221.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official FADERNIGHT by just going to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Hey, it's Grace. Can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. It's Thursday night, Fader Night. Open lines all night long. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. Let's go to area code 915. You are up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy, this is Brad from Gulf Breeze.
Brad from Gulf Breeze. How are you, man?
Yes, sir.
Any sightings? Any sightings? Gulf Breeze, man.
Not this year, but I know what you're talking about. I'm always looking for them.
Yeah,
the USOs.
Yeah, that's right, man. Gulf Breeze, man. That's where it went down there for a minute. For a minute,
There's so many bases around here. We're just surrounded by so many different Navy bases and special ops, and I believe the stealth plane was brought out around this area, so you just never know what's going on around here.
You don't. And the Gulf Breeze photographs that were all over the place in the mid '80s, I'll never forget. Man, the color photograph. It's like, wow. But I think somebody got caught, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, I believe in the attic too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sold the house. Yeah, I sold the house, and like the new owners of the house or the realtor or whatever found the model in the attic. Right? It was just like,
that was a bummer.
It was bummed me out. So, what's on your mind tonight?
Well, first off, I want to say I'm an old time Coastie insider, and I'm not tooting your horn, but you are definitely my favorite guest. I haven't heard you for a couple weeks, so looking forward to hearing you again on Coast. But I haven't listened to Fade to Black in a while. For actually I hate to say it, about 2 years. I do remember the last time I do listen, you were in Roswell for the convention, and
that was a while ago.
Love your show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think it was about the same time you saw the sighting at
Joshua
that mass
Tree.
sightings.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joshua Tree. Yes, sir.
That's right. That's right.
But I had a question for you. I was going through some of the old shows that you've done, and I ran through the show that you did with Mr. Andrew DeBaggio, I think his name is. Andrew Basiago? Basiago, yes, sir. And I just wanted to know what you thought about his very, very detailed stories and what he's come, the Pegasus Project. I've heard him a few times, and I can't wrap my head around it. I really want to believe him, and I always have an open mind, but I just wanted to get your 2 cents on it.
Well,
you thought.
I've hung out with Andrew, okay, and I did a TV show with him a couple of years ago, and I've hung out with him, and I've been able to just sit and just talk privately. And what I get from him now, and this is the other thing, and if he's listening right now, we used to talk on the phone quite often. He would call and we talk, and of course he went through the campaign, presidential campaign. That's right. He went through that, and so Andrew, just like anybody that comes forward with something like that, it's a pretty remarkable life that he has gone through, right? So we have to listen to it. And and I say the same thing just like I did with Jason Rice last night. We have to look at it like one of 3 ways. That's it. I can't. There is a possibility of a 4th, but there's 3 ways to look at it. Number 1, the events as described are real. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, these are implanted memories. They are not real, and somebody out there implanted these memories, and that's just as scary as number 1 is them being real. If somebody is implanting these memories and you believe that they are real, that's criminal, right? So that's a bad situation. Number 3, the person is crazy, right? Schizophrenic, and everything is made up. And that is just as scary as number 2 or number 1, right?
And for his details of the story, that would be crazy.
Right. And then number 4, the person is lying, and they are doing it for financial gain, that it is all made up. That's it. Those are the 4 situations.
Right. Okay.
Go ahead. And when it comes to Andrew, he falls into one of those 4 categories. So does Corey Good. So does Jason Rice. And well, David hasn't claimed, to be a time traveler.
No, that's true. That's true. And I love David. It's just some of the stuff that he said, like with like the not Atlantis, but the Antarctica stuff, and like Corey Good too. Like that stuff sounds amazing. I just want to see, hopefully, some of it come to the forefront.
Right. And
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, as far as the fourth option goes, do you know if he has any books out? Because I know he didn't have any books out, so I was wondering how would he be making money off of it if he doesn't have any books published?
That's right. But you have when I say make money, they want it. They're doing it for fame, or they've got their own reasons to go and do that. But that's it. That's what I'm saying. So number 4 is that it's all made up. It's just a big lie. It's a big hoax for whatever reason. But I think anybody would fall into those 4 categories that have a situation like this where they're bringing it forward. And I don't know, and that goes with abductions or, going to Mars or Jupiter or ET contact or any of these situations where I'm interviewing somebody that has made contact, and they're we have to stop and think about what are the possibilities here. And they don't really overlap. They don't blend into each other. Each situation is a very unique thing. A, B, C, or D, 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's what we're dealing with, and we have to figure it out. I don't know. I really honestly don't know. I have sat with Andrew. I remember one time we were having lunch, and it was just the two of us. We were alone in this theater. Why am I saying theater? It was like a soundstage. We were at a TV studio, right? And we were in this projection area. Anyway, so we're having lunch, and we had about an hour, and I sat and talked to him. We didn't talk about sports. We didn't talk about politics. We didn't talk about cars, clothes. He talked to me about time travel and his experiences, and I was like, awesome. I couldn't get him off of it. I was like, man.
Yeah, okay, so he was stuck on it.
I was like, man, those are nice shoes, Andrew. Yeah, and then, because when I jumped to Mars, I was wearing shoes like this. I'm like, dude, man, let it go for a second. Yeah. And I was just trying
How about the Yankees?
Yeah. And well, the Yankees in 32, when I time traveled, I'm like, dude, okay, all right. So he's in that zone, man. He's in that zone, and he's there. And what it is, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever know. But he's a really nice guy, man. He's a really nice guy. He's really cool, and there you go. I think he's honest. So,
and for our community, the lights dimmed down. It's a great story to hear. So
absolutely. Thank you so much, man.
One last thing, man.
Sure.
One of the coolest things I ever heard about you was you living across the street from the
studios,
the Coast Studio. Yeah, it's an amazing story. I'm actually a aspiring broadcaster, so that always almost makes me kind of tear up to an extent, just to think how far your life has come from that moment. And last thing also is go Becky Teppy, man.
That's what I'm talking about. What was your name again, Jake?
Brad Jones.
Oh, Brad. Thank you, Brad. Behave and be well, my friend.
Sir, thank you.
Thank you.
You too, man.
Great phone call right there. And, I used to live right across the street. The other day, it's really funny. The other day, when I was over at Coast, I had Jason Louv live in the studio. And Jason and I, when we left, we're out for, and he goes, man, so where'd you live? I go, dude, right there. He goes, wow. I said, right there, 3rd floor, right there. Yeah, it's a pretty trippy thing. All right, let's go to, let me look at the clock. Okay, area code 812. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yes, hi, how are you today?
I'm doing good. What's your name?
My name is Brad. I'm competent to handle my affairs and over the age of 21. Go ahead. It's your show.
Excuse me?
So I am actually a legal whistleblower. I am a world citizen. And I have studied the legal systems of the United States as well as the international systems for a very long time, many years.
But you're only 20, but you're 21?
No. I'm over the age of 21. Actually, that's a special key phrase that attorneys use to identify themselves and be able to take control of their legal presence. The phrase, it's like literally legal magic that attorneys use amongst themselves. The keyword phrase is "I am competent to handle my affairs," and you also have to add "and over the age of 21." Because they use these legal presences as artificial straw men against us, and that's actually the key phrase for us to take control of that straw man.
But why would I be trying to take control of you? Why would you have to say that?
No, the reason why I'm saying that is for the education of the audience, actually, as well as to inform all of the attorneys who are listening that they are no longer allowed to be abusing their system against me or other world citizens.
What happens when you get pulled over by the police? Do you lay this out?
Actually, my whole backstory relates to that exact question. But that's not the reason why I'm calling. That was actually reviewed in another video podcast in the Nature of Reality radio show under Brad Anderson, World Citizen. And you can listen to that story. You can go and check that out. But that's not the reason why I'm calling.
But
the reason why I'm calling is...
But Brad, nice plug though. You got that in.
No, well, this is important. This is one of the reasons why I'm calling.
Okay.
Actually, there's the United Nations actually has basically taken over all of New York City. We should be considering New York City as the fourth sovereign city-state besides the Vatican, the City of London, and Washington, D.C.
Do you live in New York? Do you live in New York?
No, I don't, but I've studied the treaties that have placed the United Nations in New York City, and the Annex number 1 that allows the United Nations headquartered districts in New York City allows for them to widen their territory to the borough of Manhattan, the city of New York, and even the state of New York. It's actually right in the very treaty that the United Nations can take over territories of the United States.
Well, they could try, but have you been to New York?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
it's a fascinating place.
It is. You know, the people that live in New York, right? If they even got a hint of anything going funky down with the United Nations, they would go, they would walk down, and they'd push that building into the Hudson River.
What if I told you I already had evidence of this?
That would never happen. But anyway,
I have the evidence. I have the evidence. Actually, it's Donald Trump's birth certificate. Interestingly enough, and I'll document it like this: in order to become the president of the United States, you have to be born in one of the 50 states of the United States. Now, we all know, or maybe some of us do, that there are 57 federal states. Even Obama said that there are 57 federal states, which everyone thought he was really confused, but he was actually honest. There's 57 federal states and 50 corporate states. So you have to be born in a corporate state to be president. But if you're born in the District of Columbia, you don't get a Virginia or a Maryland birth certificate. What you get is a D.C. birth certificate. You're a D.C. resident, and you're actually, if you're born in the District of Columbia, not eligible to be president. And now here's the funny thing. The city of New York actually issues their own birth certificates separate from the state of New York. And Donald Trump actually has a city of New York birth certificate separate from the state of New York. They actually have a separate territory. It is the United Nations territory. We need to start considering United Nations has taken over New York City, and this explains a lot. For instance,
well, my sister was born in New York City.
So she should have a New York City birth certificate and not a state of New York birth certificate. Now, one of the reasons why this is so important is because the United States cannot hold the bankers in New York City accountable for their crimes. We only have the authority to fine them. We can only send them bills for their crimes. We cannot arrest them because they're United Nations international jurisdictional banks.
So what do you?
This is a real problem.
Okay. So what are you suggesting? What's the issue, though?
Well, a part of the issue is what the United Nations has done with the American birth certificates, because the whole system that they have constructed, and this actually goes back to before 1945, goes back. I'm a legal historian, It goes back prior to the League of Nations. There are treaties that the United Nations has usurped from the League of Nations. So in some sense, there is a continuation there of actually slavery and maternity powers by treaties. So in essence, what is taking place is the member nations are trading their birth certificates for immunity in what is called international legal personalities. And my God, the problem is so big. I can't even, this is not even going to be enough time to cover it. But one of the reasons why this is so important is because they have usurped the United States Constitution, and they have even replaced the United States Constitution with their own United Nations Universal Declaration of Human Rights, which has literally outlawed justice across the planet and replaced every courtroom across the planet with their competent national tribunals. So the reason why the United States doesn't seem to have constitutional courtrooms is because they were replaced in 1947 with competent national tribunals from the United Nations.
Let's say that, and I understand you're very passionate about this, and you've obviously spent some time on this. So let's just say that everything that you said is true and correct. Let's just go off of that. From Washington, D.C. to birth certificates to Tribunal International, birth certificates, New York City, United Nations, all of that. But what's your point? What's the point that you're making overall?
The United States has already been taken over
by who?
By the United Nations. The United Nations is the globalist. It's the globalist plan has actually implemented in the United Nations. And I can actually document this. In the Paris Peace Treaty of 1947, there are two really very important articles that basically made peace in World War II between Italy and the Allies. Okay, Article 45 documents that the United Nations is a wartime government, and actually the way that it works is all of the members have to be belligerent and at war to join the United Nations. So the United Nations doesn't bring peace, they literally just manage the belligerency of their nations. Okay, so what they did with that is basically, let me put it like this. If you were to jaywalk, the laws that they hold you accountable for is basically as a war criminal under World War II authority, under Article 45 of the Paris Peace Treaty. That's the first point. Number two, and this is actually the most important, every one of you needs to, that is listening should look this up. It's so important. Article 78 defines a United Nations national as everyone who is a member of a member nation, meaning that there are no U.S. citizens, there are no Americans anymore. There are only United Nations nationals. Your country has already been taken over. Your country has already been taken over.
Well, okay. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and you have yours. I get that. But, Brad, I'm not so sure if you go right now and you go and rob a bank and get caught and you're in court and you tell them that you're not a United States citizen and it doesn't matter if you rob the bank or not, you're going to jail.
You're absolutely right. But here's the important thing also.
Are you one of those that don't pay their taxes to? Are you going to say that too as well? Are you going to go there?
Actually, I'm glad only if you're going to ask, because technically I am an expatriate. I actually filed with the IRS to expatriate out of the United States, and they honored it and listed me, or shall I say my straw man, their straw man for me, in the Federal Register as an expatriate. It is illegal for me to pay IRS taxes. Actually, I even use sales tax exemption forms.
Did you pay taxes? Cash money?
At one point, my fiction did, but I am actually looking at right now refiling all the taxes back to zero and getting everything refunded.
Right. Do you live in the United States?
No, I don't. That's a fictional entity.
No, wait a minute. No, do you live
purely within D.C.?
What city do you live in?
Well, as a world citizen, we use latitude, longitude.
No, Brad.
I understand your question. No,
What city do you live in?
Do you know where Dave Janda is?
Okay, Brad, come on, don't play with me. I'm asking you.
The Republic of Ann Arbor.
In Michigan, okay, right? Okay.
But that's not, again, there's many versions of Michigan. Your history is very, very...
Brad, this is the thing. You drive on the streets. And
no, I don't.
You walk on the streets. You walk on the streets.
My right to travel.
You
actually, world citizens can't drive. We by default, world citizens only exercise the right to travel.
Okay.
By default.
Do you eat food?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay. Do you breathe air?
Yes, and these are all issues that I take very seriously. Like, for instance, fluoride in the water. And I've discovered some laws, of course, that I'm holding the county accountable for regarding them putting fluoride in the water, such as the Controlled Substance Act.
Oh man, Brad, I wish.
Dude, I am a headache for the United States and Michigan and the county. And I know I'm a headache for these people because I use their own codes and laws upon themselves, which they want to say, "Oh no, we don't. You can't hold us accountable to our own laws."
I know, it's crazy. You know what's nuts? You know what's nuts? Do you have kids?
No, I don't. Well,
okay.
Depends on what dimension you're talking about.
Okay, I get it. So did you go to school? By the way.
You could say that my fiction went to school. My fiction got the degree. You know, I participated in the classes. But
and
again,
all of that.
And see, framing problem.
You know what's crazy is everything in life that you have taken advantage of. That you expect all of that for free. And that
I don't.
What? Yeah, you do.
If you're not paying,
you're not paying taxes.
The government actually prepays it with the birth certificate. I actually have evidence from the California Vital. Just listen. The California Vital Records actually told me that birth certificates are banknotes. I have a recording of that.
I've heard all of this. YouTube. I've heard all of this before, man. You know.
Okay. Well, here's something that you may not. Okay, well, let me tell you something you may not have heard, and this is something I have done, and to advance the disclosure that's taking place right now. I basically LARPed with the FAA that I had an anti-gravitic spacecraft, and I was asking them for a tail number because I know that we register all kinds of crafts.
Mm-hmm.
So the FAA told me to register, because as a world citizen, I need to transfer my craft to my brother, who's a U.S. citizen, and in order to do that, we need to register it, right? So cars are registered, planes, everything is registered, right? Even cats and dogs and humans.
Well, listen, hey, Brad, I'm up against. I'm up against a commercial break, so I don't want to cut you off and be rude.
The chief of security actually told me they register anti-gravitic spacecrafts. Chief of security of NASA.
Well, that's cool. But let me ask you this, and you can, and I'll give you 30 seconds to answer. Then I have to go to break.
Okay.
Do you actually believe everything that you just said?
I know enough about legal history that I can qualitatively say that I believe it to 99.99999%. Six Sigma.
Okay, there you go, and stay strong.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, Brad. And I got to take a break right here. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. All of your phone calls are next. This is Fade to Black. You never know what's going to happen here, do you? I'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. And last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Tappy. Do you want to be an official FADERNIGHT? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
If you have hard water, the lime scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate lime scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products, available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Are you intrigued by paranormal talk radio? You'll love the new paranormal radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the paranormal radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the paranormal radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader Night. Open lines all night long. Truly my favorite night of the week, as evidenced by that last phone call from Brad. And there you go. The numbers are 323-825-5045. 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. When it comes to phone calls like that, look, I am not going to dispense of any kind of advice, this, or even advocate anything like that, because you're going to get yourself in a whole world of hurt and legal jeopardy. So but you can believe and do whatever you want in life. That's that. But I will say this, as a legal position on this show, I do not dispense of any type of advice like that. I don't advocate anything like that. When I hear straw man, sovereign, birth certificates, I just don't go there. Don't go there. Drop IRS on this show, and that's it, man. Just back up. So you do your own thing, but I didn't advise anybody in any aspect of that. Let's go to area code 707. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. 3. Are you there? 3, 2. Are you there? 707.
No, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
Yes.
Jimmy.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you say 707.
Yes, I did. Who's this?
It's Janine in Humboldt.
Hi, Janine. How are you?
I am doing very well, thank you. I didn't hear you say the area code, and I just stuck something in my mouth, and so my sincere apologies.
You got busted eating food while on hold.
Yeah, I did. I'm busted. I'm
Okay.
guilty.
Okay. What's on your mind tonight, Janine?
Hey, Jimmy, I've been wanting to call and talk to you for a long time about this. These groups I've gotten started, one at OnStellar and one at Facebook, called Developing Disclosure Discussions.
Right on. How's that going?
Well, the group at OnStellar is 34 members strong. I've been just kind of waiting for members to trickle in, and as I've been going through some personal transition things, and it's time to start progressing forward with it. It came from
I'm listening to you, Janine.
Oh, okay. I just heard somebody else talking.
Well, there's somebody else on hold. That's all. You probably heard some crosstalk.
Oh, I see. Okay. Anyway, like my description is, we've done our research and discovered the truth of what's really going on in this country, this crazy mixed-up world. We know the government, not the elected representatives, but the ones really in charge, have covered up the truth and told us lies about everything from Roswell to the JFK assassination to what really happened on 9/11.
That's right.
But when we try to share our concerns with friends and family, they just tune us out, call us conspiracy theorists, tinfoil hatters.
Mm-hmm.
We need to develop a way to discuss these topics, conspiracy facts, with others that will get and hold not only their attention but their interest. We also need to learn how to approach these topics with compassion and empathy, and not, shove a big red pill down everybody's throat.
Right.
Because most of us have tried that at some point and not gotten real good results from it.
Thank you for that. Hear, Janine. Well said.
My desire is to help people learn how to communicate these things. I want us to start learning some of the principles of Marshall Rosenberg's nonviolent communication.
Right.
Which, if you're familiar with it, basically doesn't have anything to do with violence or the absence of it. It's just, how to communicate with compassion and empathy.
But that's right. You're 100% correct there. You're spot on the money. Everybody needs to listen. Yes. Mm-hmm. Everybody needs to listen to what you're saying. And, Janine, I try to communicate that every single night on this show.
Oh, I know you do.
I
know you do. But the time has come for a group like this. This idea came in what I can only describe as a download in my hotel room at Conscious Life back in February.
Mm-hmm.
And it just came spilling out of me. And it's just been a bit of a challenging year so far for everybody, I know, but I'm not going to let this idea die. It's too important. And it's starting actually as a local meetup group.
Right.
Using meetup.com. And what I'd like to do, my eventual goal, is to develop a connected nationwide or even global network of Triple D groups that are local groups, but we also work together to help to work with each other.
That's right, Janine. And before I say goodnight and say thank you to you, what are the names of your two groups that you just started? What's the one on Facebook?
They both have the same name, Developing Disclosure Discussion.
There you go. Janine and
Teresa Llaneros has been helping me get this off the ground.
Yeah, right on. Right on. I'm going to come over to both groups and say hello to everybody, okay?
Great.
Do you have
do.
it? I will do that. And do me a favor, Janine. Get the links up in Twitter so I can retweet it for you. Will you do me that favor?
Okay.
Just
how
get
do
it
I copy?
Just put the names up there. Everybody will go and find it. Just put it up there so I can retweet it, okay?
Oh, I'll do that right now. Okay, great.
You're the best, Janine.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Jimmy.
You're the best.
And I'm so sorry. I missed Soul Tech. My poor cat had just died, and
yeah, I remember.
Everything fell apart at the last minute, but I donated my Soul Tech ticket to somebody.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Look, Janine, you know this better than anybody. Everything happens for a reason. That's it, and you go with it. And
this might not have been my year.
That's right, and you understand that better than anybody.
Right, and I'm wondering if there's any possibility I might get comped a ticket for next year.
Well, you know who to talk to.
Rita.
I'll talk to you.
I will email her and see if that's a possibility.
Thank you,
okay?
Janine. And don't
look forward to seeing you in the group.
But don't forget, Janine, you've got to tweet so I can retweet, okay?
I'm doing it right now.
Thank you, Janine.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Have a great weekend. Janine is the absolute best right there. That's what's going on. And let's see. Who's up next? I can't even see. I think it's 9. I can't even see it. 936. Is that right? You're up next on Fade to Black.
It is, Jimmy. How in the world are you?
I'm fine. Who are you?
This is Ramblin' Randy down here in Nacogdoches, Texas.
That's what I'm talking about. How you doing, Randy?
Yeah, good. Jimmy, I've got to come out there and put on some of them glasses y'all seeing this stuff with. I ain't kidding you. I almost come out there the other day. I can't keep up with you, but Jimmy, you're sitting down. I'm not on the video deal watching you, but you're probably sitting down, aren't you?
Yep.
Listen to this, Jimmy. In my hand, I hold 2 ID cards that was given to me by the Cherokee Nation accidentally. I mean, I didn't look for it.
Right.
And one of them says right here, Jimmy, and it's after that Brad deal. Chills run up my back when he's talking about that. And on here, it's got my picture, and my name is Philip Matthews. That's odd. It's been in the post office before, but and that's for real. But my Indian name is Wandalai Raleigh Masus. And it's got on here, Cargo Living Estate Beneficiary Man. Now, the story behind this, Jimmy, real quickly, if I can.
Sure.
Probably 35 years ago. This is going to be my little esoteric story, Jimmy. And I'm an oil field trash. I had an oil field drilling company down here, and this doesn't happen to many rednecks, but it happened to me. About 45 years ago, or 40 years ago, I'm 65. Right. I was out there in California. I was going out to California, and I took that shortcut off I-10 going to Enchanted Mountain. I don't know if you've ever been through there, New Mexico, coming up going toward Phoenix. And I took about a week on that road. There's a little resort area, and I met these guys, and they said, we started talking some stuff. He said, you need to go meet the chief or something like that. And we got in this pickup truck, and we went toward Roosevelt Dam out there, if you know where that's at.
I do. Okay. I do.
Stay with me on this, Jimmy. This is wild. I've never told anybody this before, and on live deal like this. But these guys, we got in the pickup truck, and they had an extended ladder on the right side, like a painter has, going down the road, them ladders.
Uh-huh.
And we took off out there in that like Bonneville Salt Flats looking thing at about 2:30, and we rode with nobody. I never saw one single car or truck or anything out there. We're in the desert, and these guys pulled up this mesa, and they got out, and they took that ladder off there, Jimmy, and we went over to the side of this ledge. I couldn't have climbed it, and without a ladder or anything, you couldn't get up there. Bottom line, it had a hole in the side of this thing. So we climbed that ladder, and I went in there. Jimmy, there was a guy sitting on a pallet, and he was in one of them serape-looking, that kind of big, thick, woven southwestern serape-looking things, and it didn't have any dirt on it. And he was old, and he had white hair. He had a little bowl thing next to him there, and the place looked like going to Six Flags or an amusement park, real smooth in there, like people have been touching it for a million years. You know how smooth rock gets?
Yeah, right.
And that cat's sitting on this pad, and there wasn't any food in there. There wasn't a restaurant, nothing. And perfectly clean. And, of course, I'm kind of taken back from all this. We had gotten a little bit elevated on the way out there.
I was just going to ask about that. Okay, all right,
yeah.
all right. Well,
with Indian elevation,
I get it. I get it.
Don't touch it or get your finger hurt, that kind of thing. So when I got in there, that was coming on, and there's that cat on that blanket, and no dirt on him. He's old and he's clean. And we got to talking, and he told me some things. It was a long, drawn-out ordeal, but at the very end, he said, "And brother, we will be in touch."
Wow.
And so then we got in that truck, took a ladder down. I said, "What about the cat in the hole?" He said, "He's going to be okay." We got in that truck, and we headed back toward Globe, New Mexico. We're out there at the intersection there. And I said, and it got dark, and I said, "What about the old man in the cave?" He said, "Don't worry about it." And he just left him, and we didn't pass another truck or anything coming in, and they wasn't worried about that old man in that hole inside of that mountain.
Wow.
So fast forward about
this is the craziest story I've heard in a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it gets better. It gets better.
It gets better.
It does. It has to do with these cards in my hand.
Okay.
And so Matthews here, his last name. Now, I am dark complected. I always have. Got jet black hair and high cheekbones. Okay. Matthews, though. And I get this guy contacts me from Tennessee, and he addressed me as Wandelai Rondele Masseuse. And I went, "What the hell is this?" And he says that I'm ancestry from this Cherokee Nation. I'm going, all right, here we go. And so trying to figure out what his pitch line is going to be. And he said, "We've opened you up a bank account at U.S. Bank. We have put $1,000 in there. We're sending you your documents," which I'm holding in my hand here, Jimmy. And so I said, "You put $1,000 in a bank account for me?" "Yes, you are of the Cherokee Indian Nation." And I went, "Oh, yeah." Well, I checked, and the damn thing had $1,000 in there. And so I said, these cards, I kept looking at them. I hear these people taking their license plates off like you're talking about and all that stuff. I wasn't going to do anything like that. I got enough heat as it is. And so I said, they said, "You can fly with it." And so I went from Houston out to the airport, and I was going to go out to Vegas and play. And I handed them this damn card, Jimmy, right here, this cargo card with my picture on it. Right. And I flew, Jimmy. I flew. Now, that's the craziest thing in the world. We'll talk again, but real quickly, Jimmy, we are starting a group, a big group, huge group, that we're going to study you, Clyde, John B. Wells, and George.
Okay.
And we're going to, because we're losing our attention, our history as fast as we're losing our attention span. I mean, some of this stuff everybody listens to every night, you got your regulars call in, George got his, and so does the rest of them. And, but the next day, hell, everybody's waiting on the next topic. They're not digesting it. They're not discerning what's going on.
Well said.
Now,
well said.
Yeah. And so another thing is that when some of your regulars call in, like Uncle Doug and things like that, I have created a platform, Jimmy, that's going to override all medium, all social media. And then when we see one of our people, which will be called silent supporters, or we hear them call in on your show or whatever, we can give them a micro donation to keep them fired up. And what this is going to do is going to circumvent them demonetizing these cats on YouTube, all that.
Right.
So as long as you can see that designator, and I'm going to fly out there and see you. I like where you're living there. I took a 42-foot bus, tried to get up to that observatory on that curvy road.
Yep.
Wrong move, Jimmy. Wrong move to try to go up there. It was hellacious trying to back that thing down there.
You're Randy. Let me jump in. You are correct, and I think that if there is a way to slow that bus down, where we can take some of these subjects separately and take the time to actually go back and discuss, because there's so much that happens in 3 hours, right? And
Jimmy, a while ago you had a guy on before Brad, and he had a hell of a lot of value. I wish I could get a hold of him. And that kind of thing. And you broadcast out there telling them, we got this study course. This is what it's going to be. Silent supporters. And then it gets large enough, then we can fund various things. Medium has got 5 million people. And they do a little clapping thing.
Yeah, you should go to OnStellar. And,
I'm on Stellar.
Right, because, and I'll tell you why, very soon here, and when I say soon, we're weeks away from the blockchain getting implemented. It's security issues and some other things. We got to make sure that the platform is locked down.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and just like anything else, when it's Patreon and Medium.
Jimmy, hold on. Let me cut in here a second, because this is part of my story with you. My trilateral up there is you, Clyde, and George. That's my trilateral.
Okay.
Someone else might have their own, but y'all are my trilateral.
Right.
About a year or so ago, George had that guy on. He started talking blockchain and everything, and then next thing you know, you're kind of talking about it, and all of a sudden, OnStellar come in, and I'm riding with you guys out the right side of the plane out there, going, they're headed that way. Now, what I'm talking to you about, Jimmy, has to do, at the end of the day, will come off of centralized and go into OnStellar with the coin.
Right.
This whole damn thing is coming together just right, Jimmy. Together just right.
I'm with you. And there, when you have, I haven't heard John B. Wells' name in a while. I miss that guy.
Oh, God, I love him.
Yeah, I love him too. So when you have, Clyde and George and Jimmy and John B., and I would tend to agree with you. Those are the 4 big shows, right? Those are the 4. That's
yeah, they are.
But that is a lot for everybody to go and handle. And if you can't listen to all of them at the same time. And the other
do podcasts. We do podcasts the whole bit.
Yeah, you bring up a really good point, Randy. And I want to fly. I want to fly with you, man. I want a cargo card. That's pretty cool. Did you? I want to go back and ask you really quick.
You got to see this, Jimmy. I'll bring it out there. You give me some X-ray glasses, and we'll start. We'll look up, and I want to see one, Jimmy.
I'm down for it.
I want to see one.
But what about this bank account? Did you cash it out, or is it still sitting there?
I'm still using it, Jimmy. I'm still using it.
That's nuts.
You ought to see this paperwork they sent me. All that cargo business he's talking about, that stuff is real. Now, let me tell you what the Indians told me. They said that they designed this thing, the way that cat's talking about, don't try to pull it off.
Right.
But it's real. And the reason that they designed it that way is because it's so complex that there's no way anyone could really walk through it. But the rule of law is the only thing they stand on. They'll kill each other, but the rule of law is what they go by.
Right.
There was a cat named Eustace Mueller. He died now, but he used to be at the courthouse all the time, and he was that natural thing. I am one of those things. I'm not going to go up there and take my license plate off, for God's sake.
No.
Oil field. They
you can't. Yeah, you can't. See, this is the thing, Randy, and I know you're hearing me. It's one thing to dive into this, and if that is what I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about anybody out there that talks this stuff and does it. You're entitled, man, to go and do your own thing, but don't get caught. And if you break the law, right? You break the law, whatever it is, and you pull that stuff off in court, dude, you're going to prison. And you don't. I don't want to see anybody go down like that.
Jimmy, over here, you don't have to worry about me taking this in no courtroom. I'll guarantee you that. I haven't pulled these things out in a long time, but I did fly with it, which tells me, my God.
I know.
You mean Wanda Wakli Masus flew, and no one, you give me a hard time on an expired driver's license sometimes? What the hell is this?
I know.
It's got meat on the bone, Jim. It's got meat on the bone. Now, real quickly, you can go on this YouTube. I don't know if it's still up there, called North of the 49th. there was this team of researchers that mapped. I'm talking about put a schematic down to the whole, what y'all call Illuminati, all that. It's just a structured business deal from Rothschild on down. It all started at Waterloo, you know, the whole bit. But you ought to see this thing, man. You have to zoom in like 2,400 times to get down there to the small little entities that come off of those little pyramid deals, you know, the way they structure them. And you see names that you know, like Barclay, and you're going, God almighty. And if it's a joke, they spent years putting that damn joke together. If it's not real, I think it's damn real.
Man, Randy, I want to hang out with you. You and I need to hang out. You and I need to hang out. I don't care when and where, but
I get out there and see. Now, I'd like to make it around Robin, because here's the deal with y'all. I've already got everybody mapped. I mean, I got your traffic on what y'all have got. I've already a medium does 5 million. I know I can get every one of their riders, because we're going to have a gratuity deal. We're going to tip everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, with value added. I mean, there's some serious. I call in to listen to those people, and to listen to you sometimes cut into your music deal. I like to listen to you talk. I bet you was hard back in the day, boy. I can't wait to hang out with you.
I was a lot of fun back in the day. Trust me on that. I'm still paying the price for it. But Randy, you need to come hang out with the Fadernauts, man. When we had those Fadernight get-togethers, 30, 40, 50, 100 of us. I'll
fly out there. I'll fly out there.
Yeah, you need to come hang out.
Hey, can you give me a class on that deck business? That Twitter deck about to drive me slap up a wall.
Hey, Randy, what happened to the dude in the cave? Did you ever...
Jimmy, I can't find that face of that mountain. I drilled some wells out there in Chalma,
right.
So I had time, and I drove all over that place. And you see, you take off. There ain't no road. These cats took off like Bonneville Salt Flats.
Right, I get it.
So for me to get that same path would be hard. And Lucas McCain, I get scared that I'm gonna see them heat waves. And me and Mark, how they get hung up out there in the desert in heat waves. I didn't want none of that act.
Oh man, it's like a chapter out of a Carlos Castaneda book. It's exactly.
Hey, that couch deal that you always do?
Yeah.
I love that, man. I love that. Buddy.
Oh, Randy.
Now, let me leave you this one right here. Once a man who has been honest and mistaken all their life learns the truth, they either cease to be mistaken or they cease to be honest. What say you, Jimmy?
That's right. You can't argue with that.
Let's put a deal together where I come see Clyde. I'll go up there to see him. He's a horse of a different color. Now, there's y'all have different energies, and I see it's coming up on a break. I had a show, Jimmy, called Ramblin' Randy's. Had 64,000 members back in the day.
Right.
That's pretty good lick. We're chasing that dinar. That dinar thing, boy. There's some sick puppies still chasing that dinar deal. I think they're going to get you.
Oh, man.
And there's some listening right now. Some of my people are listening. They're going to go, what? Oh, they're going to call me tomorrow and say, Randy, you don't think the dinar's ever going to RV? Oh,
I know, right?
God,
hey, Randy, behave and be well, my friend.
Hey, look at my phone number there on that panel. I know you got it there, and holler at me sometime. We'll twist off.
I got it right here. I'll talk to you.
Okay.
Behave, Randy.
Bye.
That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. That's what Fadernight is all about right there. Randy, that was just Ramblin' Randy. I don't even know where to go. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. More of your phone calls are next. It's Thursday night. It is Fader Night. Stay with me. I'll be right back. Ramblin' Randy.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Poor water quality is a major health issue, and it's only getting worse. Municipalities can't keep up, standards have dropped, and pollutants are increasing. Where does it all end? It ends by keeping the pollutants outside of your home with HydroCare's advanced systems available at Wave Home Solutions. No less than the best purification materials and processes have been developed by HydroCare to provide you with healthy, clean water for drinking, cooking, and showering. HydroCare far surpasses the competition in removing chlorine, odors, iron, lead, chemicals, limescale, and much more. Don't settle for less when it comes to your water. We'll take care of the toughest water problems for you, whether it's from a city or well source. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, call 888-997-WAVE. That's 888-997-WAVE. Or go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRARadio.com.
Does your basement or crawl space have a damp, musty smell? Well, watch out. That's a sign of too much moisture and not enough ventilation. And that can mean increased mold growth and the buildup of harmful toxins and gases. Don't bother with a dehumidifier. It just circulates the same unhealthy air. Now there's a better way to remove these dangers and odors. It's with the computerized Wave Moisture Control Unit that reduces moisture and expels pollutants.
We replaced our old dehumidifier with the Wave unit, and in only 3 weeks, our basement is dry and the musty smell is gone.
Wave units require no maintenance, no buckets of water or filters, and costs only pennies a day to run. Breathe better, live healthier with an affordable, no-maintenance Wave unit. Call 888-717-WAVE, 888-717-WAVE, or visit dryhealthyhome.com, dryhealthyhome.com.
Ride the wave. Wave Home Solutions for a healthy, comfortable home.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from Rivermoon. Just click on the Rivermoon coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
So are you tired of being tired? Well, then it's time to get the tea. Hey, it's Lisa here to tell you about this all-natural, all-organic tea I've been drinking that has had great results for over 20 years. It's called Life Change Tea, and it's specially formulated to help detoxify and cleanse your kidneys, liver, colon, and blood all at once. The colon is one of the most ignored organs in the human body. The faster that waste is eliminated from the body, the less time that waste sits in our intestines, spreading toxins to our bloodstream. This tea helps cleanse chemicals caused by outside intruders from our entire digestive system. And get this, weight loss can be a side effect. And with continued use of the tea, you can experience clearer, healthier, younger looking skin, increased energy, and a happier outlook on life. So if you're tired of being tired, get the Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. And like me, you'll be glad you did.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why Fade to Black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
All right. Hey, I'm tweeting. Somebody sue me. Love it. What a great Fader night. Randy. Ramblin' Randy. 323-825-5045, 323-275-9695, or 818-921-6929. What a great Fader night. Open lines all night long. Let's just keep it going. Let's go to area code 778. Thank you for holding. You're up next. You're there. Okay. Is this 778? Are you there? Okay. Let's try this line. 778. Are you there? 3, 2, 1. Are you there? Man, I hate to do this to anybody. but I'm going to do it now. Let's go to the next caller. Let's just go here. Area code 601. You're up next on Fade to Black. You're live. Let's try this one. You are live. Oh, man. What's going on with the phones? Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hello?
Yes, you're live right now.
That's you, Jimmy.
Yes.
You got another Randy on the air.
I do. Hey, Randy, how are you, man?
Good. How you been?
It's good to hear your voice.
Do you even know who it is for sure?
Yes, I do. You want
okay.
me to go first and last names right now, live on the air?
I don't care. RJ of the Arctic.
Yes, no. Hey, and you know what's amazing is I was looking at some of your posts and who you've been hanging out with and what went down out there in Las Vegas, man. That looked like it was pretty interesting times.
I'll tell you what. Meeting Josh and his wife Lauren was highlight of the year. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
What a nice couple.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And you guys, you want to talk about that, or did you call about something else? Because I would love to go there too as well.
Well, I certainly would go there. Absolutely.
Well,
yeah, it was just kind of a great situation. Worked out really well.
What Randy tried to do, let me back up and explain to everybody what we're talking about. Joshua was on Fade to Black, and he talked about his time loop containment crazy location experiment that he had done out there in Las Vegas, and it went viral, right? It got picked up and it went around the world, and news picked up on it. And Randy, right after that, I'm going to say it was probably within a few days. I don't know how you guys coordinated and connected, but you ended up going with Joshua P. Warren, and you guys went out to go to the location where this time anomaly was measured. And you guys went through some storms. Am I correct in saying it was like, desert storm, right?
Yeah, you're correct.
Yes.
Having served in the military in South Dakota and being around tornadoes, I can say that was the worst storm I've ever been in my life. It was amazing.
And so you guys go through that, and you're holed up in like a truck stop, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I remembering all of this? See, Randy,
yeah, you got pretty good. You're pretty good, yeah.
Are you impressed?
I am very impressed. Okay. Absolutely.
So you guys go through that. You're holed up in a truck stop. You wait for the weather to pass, which it does. And what happened next?
Well, we took a chance and we drove out to the location. It was about from the truck stop, I think it was about 30 minutes, maybe more.
Right.
To the location where he had gotten his first reading on an anomaly using the DT meter. And I'm not versed on the DT meter at all. One thing you know about Josh is he is truly a genius. And when he talks to you, you can tell the guy's got some major things going on in his head all the time. He's extremely intelligent.
Right.
And but also very likable, which makes him a little different from most genius folks I know, which I don't know that many. But we returned to the area, and we had with us another guy who would make a great guest with your show, actually, Sean Kevin Jason, who I think you heard him talk about.
Yes.
Had an incident with a UFO almost at the same location back in mid-90s, I want to say 95. Anyway, he was there as well, and also Josh's wife, Lauren, and his brother-in-law, Charlie. And we got out there, and it was still fairly stormy, but Charlie said, well, I'm willing to get out and hold on to this 100-foot piece of wire in this lightning storm. So we both got out, and we ran the line out, and Josh ran another test, which proved to be negative but was good. It actually was a good effect because it showed that the lightning was not interfering with the DT meter at all. There was no outside interference. So that first reading that he got with that meter pretty much was verified that it wasn't, just a strange occurrence, interference by something. So we considered it a pretty successful situation. But yeah, it was an amazing thing, and I didn't know that he actually had a place in Vegas until recently.
Yeah, he moved out there, and he's got Joshua P. Warren West, because he's got his place in Puerto Rico and his place in Asheville, and now he's out there in Las Vegas too as well. How did you hook up with Joshua? How did that happen?
Well, Josh played a pretty important role in my life, because back in 2009. I heard him talking about the Brownsville Lights on George Nuri's Coast to Coast.
Right.
And I sent him my story, and I didn't actually know he had his own show, but I thought I'd get his reading on what happened to me. And, he had his show at the time, Speaking of Strange, and he invited me to be a guest. So he was actually the first show I ever went on officially as a guest and talked in public about what had happened to me, back in 1989. So we've stayed in touch. And actually, I was on a show twice. I also talked about a dream that saved my life when I was a police officer, or may have saved my life. I'm pretty sure it did in some respect. And so I did 2 shows with him, and we kept in touch over the years, and his crew and I have stayed in touch. I mean, they're just remarkable people. And so my family and I were going to go to Vegas and see the Beatles Love show that Circus Soleil puts on.
Right.
And he talked about being in Vegas on the last time I heard him on the radio, or prior to this, and I said, hey, let's meet up and I'll buy you a beer. And we set up a time, and it turned out that we couldn't make it because of the show. So he contacts me and he says, well, why don't you just go out in the desert with us? We're going out to do a little experiment. And I was like blown away. So, I set aside that time block, and we had a couple of drinks and stuff, and we just had a ball. I mean, we went out there and pulled this off, and it was truly amazing.
Yeah, and he's such a cool dude. And this DT meter and what it could mean and how it works is really, really cool. And for you to share this story online, I read the whole thing. It was like, man, I was so jealous. It sounded like so much fun. The natural disaster part, right? You guys holed up in a truck stop, eating food, waiting for the weather to clear, and then going out and pulling all of this off. It just sounded like an adventure, man. It sounded like a whole lot of fun.
That's exactly the way I looked at it. It was a great adventure. Absolutely.
All right, and, you called me tonight. I'm sorry I forced you into the segue there.
Well, actually, you did perfect, because that's kind of what I was going to cover, and the situation with my story kind of grows a little bit. I just got back from Toronto 3 weeks ago. I went up and filmed an episode for a new television show that should be airing throughout the world, actually, and so I'll let you know when that's going to play. So.
And they covered your experience on this show?
Yeah, they sure did. Yeah.
Oh, and how did it go? Did you guys do it on location?
No, we didn't. It was filmed. It was one of those programs where they film it. I don't know if I can say the name of the show or not. It hasn't even aired yet. I mean, it's a brand new show that's going to be on the Travel Channel, I believe.
Okay.
But anyway, I went there and they did an interview with me in the studio, and then they're going to have actors portray the incident. So I have no idea how it's going to turn out, but the crew was amazing. The director was amazing who did the interview. And
wow. Well, good luck with that, and let us know when it airs. I can't wait to see it. So they're going to do some computer animation and some CG and have the ball and the dude driving and the whole thing.
Yep.
Oh, man, Randy.
So it's going to be cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it, man. When is it supposed to air?
Well, it won't be until February or March of 2019.
Okay.
So when I find out, I'll let you know somehow, and I'll send you a message or something and get you updated on it. But, hopefully I don't look too fat and old on the thing, but,
Oh, we're all getting fat and old. There's nothing you can do. Mother Nature and Lady Time has a way of keeping control. There's nothing you can do about it. Randy, thank you so much, my friend, and don't be a stranger.
You bet. Talk to you later, Jimmy. Thank you.
Good
night, everybody.
Good night, Randy. Randy Cole, everybody. Randy, and we're going back now quite a few years, but Randy's story, I'm not going to have him tell it again here, but Randy's story, he's in law enforcement, and him and his partner were out and on patrol when this ball came up the street, above the street, one story in the air, and came around and turned the corner and then went up the street. But in the ball was a little, I'll say E.T., but a little guy controlling it, and went up the street and then turned the corner. There's more to the story than that. But when this episode airs, I can't wait to see it. I want to see how they're going to recreate everything. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, Mr. Jimmy Church.
I knew it was you, Steve. I just wanted you to say it. How are you, man?
Doing great, brother. How are you?
An amazing Fader night tonight, and made even more amazing with your phone call.
No.
Have you been listening?
It's your show.
Have you been listening?
Oh, yes, I've listened.
Man,
yes.
Tonight was special.
Some very interesting calls, Jimmy.
Tonight was a special night. All of it. So
it always is, Jimmy. No matter whoever the guest is, it doesn't matter. You always, hands down, put on the best radio show that there is.
Yeah, thank you for that, man. It's the callers, it's the guests. I just happen to be caught in the middle, and it's an honor and it's a privilege. It's so much fun. I know that with everybody that is here with us every single night, they get to ride along and hang out and witness all of it. But everybody knows, man, I am the luckiest dude in the world. And I recognize it, and I'm blessed. I am absolutely blessed. I'm the luckiest guy out there. Okay, so, Steve, you called me. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. What's on your mind?
Well, have you had a chance to watch the movie that Jeremy Corbell put out for the Hunt for the Skinwalker?
No, I have not. Have you watched it?
Yes.
And?
Yes. A+.
A+.
So, some of them, if you're a big fan of Skinwalker Ranch and have done your homework like that, that I have on Skinwalker Ranch, some of the material is repetitive that has been out there, but it's a good segue for someone who doesn't know that much about the Skinwalker Ranch. So that's good that he brings that out first, but then he also brings out the new material, pictures and and video, and speaks to a lot of local residents around the area that has experienced sightings and things that is close to the town, the closest town to the ranch,
right?
That have seen things, and that he speaks to a lot of those, and then he speaks to the. I'm pretty sure he was the head researcher for. I think it was called NIDS. Is that correct?
Yep. NIDS.
NIDS, yes, NIDS.
Mm-hmm.
He was the head researcher for NIDS, and he's on there, and they talk about some of the experiences that he had. Things they couldn't even begin to explain. And these guys are, super, super intelligent scientists that they had there, with NIDS, and a lot of those scientists, they wouldn't, still to this day, will not release their name because, they're still in fear that it will jeopardize their professional career because of some of the things that they saw and and recorded. And there's a new owner.
Who bought it? Who bought it?
Well, see, that's they don't divulge that.
Right.
The new owner doesn't want that divulged, but there seems to be a lot of speculation that it could be Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins, Tony Robbins, the guy with the teeth.
Super extremely. Well, whoever. I just heard the name Tony Robbins.
Yeah, Tony Robbins. He's the self-help guru dude. He's like 6'6" with the teeth.
Whoever this guy is extremely, extremely wealthy.
Yeah. He lives here in Southern California. Lives down in Laguna Beach. Well, that's interesting.
But this guy came in and Nibs had very good equipment that they were using, but the new owner brought in some equipment that was, I guess, the only place that you could get this equipment was from the military.
So Tony, so we're speculating here that Tony Robbins.
I'm just speculating, Jim. Right, just speculate.
Because I didn't know that Tony was all into the paranormal.
I didn't either. But that was just the name that had been thrown out on social media a few times that I saw. But so that's just pure speculation on my behalf. Jim. I thought that you may know more about the new owner than I would. But they, bring in, I guess, this equipment that I guess you can only get from the military. Because the military is extremely, extremely interested in this ranch.
Okay, so is Tony Robbins I'm reading here that the new owner is what they hide his face, but it sounds like Tony Robbins. Is that what everybody is suggesting? All right, it looks like I'm gonna have to go and watch this and see. I just haven't had the time to watch it. I've watched some of the clips, and I think Jeremy sent me some stuff that he was working on last year, and I got to see some of the stuff that was shot. What I was interested in finding out, I'll ask you now: is there any shots of anything strange going on? Is there anything presented in this film that has not been seen before? Anything abnormal?
Yes.
Okay. So it's worth watching.
There are quite a few. Yes. On that behalf, they do divulge some of the new information and evidence that has been collected by this new equipment that they brought in.
Okay. All right. That's worth it. What about the famous, when Jeremy was on the show last year, he had said that somebody gave him some cell phone footage of a UFO. Did that make it into the film?
Well, I don't know if that particular.
It was a giant craft that was over the freeway. Okay, apparently not. Okay,
I don't know, but there are there's quite a few pictures of UFO craft that they show that has been taken by the new equipment they brought in.
Now,
and one of the UFOs looks identical to the Enterprise on Star Trek.
Oh, really?
I mean.
Really?
Almost, like 95% identical.
Now, Steve, let me ask you this. I think we're all convinced that Skinwalker is a special place. Has this film elevated your opinion of that? I mean, does it take things to another level? Are you convinced that Skinwalker is paranormal, is supernatural.
Without a doubt, Jimmy.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
All right.
And some of when you listen to the testimony of some of the scientists that speak, they bring out the fact that no matter what they did, it seemed that whatever the entity was that they were pursuing seemed to always know what they were doing. Like, it instead of being a step ahead of them, it was 100 steps ahead of them. It was like they never could set a trap, or it always seemed to know what they were planning to do.
Tony Robbins,
and apparently, one of the scientists, this entity or whatever is there, got into one of the scientists' mind, and they speak about it. It literally about drove him crazy.
Well, the other thing is, I know that Jeremy has a gift of cinematography and making things look really, really good. He's got a really good artistic sense about him, and he just frames things right, and he edits correctly, and he's got a really special way of making things look. So I'm sure that Skinwalker, in addition to everything else, is also visually stunning. He's just a really, really talented guy. So I'll have to go and check it out. It's been on my list.
Check it out. I really think that it's definitely worth the view. And when you see the new owner and they black out his face, you're a watch guy, Jimmy, right? You really like watches.
Mm-hmm.
Check out his watch, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then toward the end of the film, they have like a meeting around the campfire. And one of the guys that's at this meeting, see if it's not the same watch on this guy.
Oh, okay. I will do that. I'll be able to pull that off. What do you?
Okay. Because I believe it's the guy that is the new owner is there in that meeting, and it shows his face.
Oh.
And it's not Tony Robbins.
Ah.
But the watch is
the giveaway. Okay.
Is the giveaway. I mean, because it's like a really, really nice watch.
Okay.
It's not like, some Walmart special or something.
No, right.
It's like, probably like a $30,000 watch.
I'm looking at everybody's comments here. Everybody thinks that it is Tony Robbins. Okay, I'll look. So the watch is the giveaway. I'll be able to tell no matter what. I thank you for pointing that out, because that's it. If there's one thing that I know, I know guitars, right? I know watches. I know cars, right? Those are my three things. But there you go. Okay, thank you for the hot tip. Steve, thank you so much, my friend.
Jimmy, as always, brother, thanks for the time.
Thank you, Steve. And Steve is backing up. He's going for it on Skinwalker. Steve, people are going to call you out on this. So,
Hey, I have no problem.
That's what I'm talking about. Steve, behave and be well, my friend. Give my best to the family and have a great weekend. Oh, I think we lost Steve. Well, I think he already said, thanks for the time. To Fade to Black, Thursday night, Fader night. Open lines all night long. More of your phone calls are next. Steve from Bluefield. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to go check out Skinwalker. I'll watch it. I will. I just haven't had the time. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hey, what up, y'all? Sugar Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously, go Beckley Teppy. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and my family is safe because of Numana Emergency Food Storage. Just go to the Numana banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Promo code Jimmy10.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. FADERNIGHT. Open lines all night long. I am your host, Jimmy Church. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox. Hashtag F2BQ is Fade to Black questions. And we've got one segment left. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695 or 818-921-6929. And there you go. If you were watching on the bunker cam, that was Clyde Lewis that I was speaking to on the phone. He called me. He said, Jimmy, what happened? I was like, what's going on? Because, man, everybody's talking about what went down. I said, well, yeah, it was pretty crazy. And are you all right? And I said, I'm all right. I'm all right. But there you go, Clyde. It was all good. It was a trippy night last night for sure. But there you go. Okay, let's go straight back to the phones. Area code 540. You're up next on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Paul.
Hey,
Orange, Virginia.
Hey, Paul. How are you?
Hey, man. It's nice to talk to you.
It's good to hear your voice. What's on your mind?
Yeah. All right. Well, I had a lot of things wondering what I would talk about. And I could talk about a lot of things about myself, which I've had many experiences, which later I will talk to you about later. But, I don't want to talk about myself right now.
Okay.
So, this is what I want to bring people's attention to. I've been looking into, like, Mars and stuff since, like, the 90s and, since the Internet and all right. Okay, I'm a little nervous right now, but anyway,
it's okay, Paul.
Mars.
Okay.
All right, so it was sometime, and I can't remember when it was, but NASA was watching Saturn, and they were seeing these cigar-shaped craft that were like huge, like 100 kilometers long, moving through the rings and stuff. And at the time I was wondering, and I saw that and I was like, why are these craft, moving through there? Maybe they're trying to, mine the rings or something. But I finally realized later, no, that's not what they were doing.
What were they doing?
All right. Do you know Larry Niven, who wrote Ringworld?
No, I don't, but continue, please.
Okay, Ringworld. You were talking about this thing about, I remember hearing you talking about this thing about like a big round, like a round shield around a whole solar system. What was that called? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Boy, that sounds like a bunch of different shows, but...
Okay. All right, so Ringworld by Larry Niven. They built a ring that would circle, a huge circle. It was all right. The circle itself was it had a diameter or the circumference of the Earth's orbit. That's how big the Ringworld was, which is 93 million miles from the sun. And it had a circle like that, and it was like a world.
Okay, okay, Paul, I'm trying to stay with you here, but remember, we're live on the radio, so let's move along. What Ringworld, Saturn, cigar-shaped stuff that NASA was looking at in the rings of Saturn. What year did you see this?
It was in probably the mid-'90s.
Oh, you're talking about a Dyson sphere? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, yes, that's what I wanted you to say, a Dyson sphere. I couldn't figure out that word.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, but this is different. It's a sphere. I mean, it's not a sphere. It's a circle.
Okay, but Paul, what is it that you are suggesting, though? Are you suggesting there's something like this at Saturn?
Yes. All right. So I was wondering why are these supposedly like 300 kilometer long cigar-shaped objects moving through the rings of Saturn? And NASA photographed them, and they sent them back. All right, so this is what it is.
Can you?
They're one of the rings around Saturn is actually, it's a ring that's built by somebody, and it circles Saturn. It's a ring that's solid. It's solid. Yes, it's solid, and
okay,
people live there probably, and that's why they had these giant cigar-shaped.
Okay, I'm with you, Paul.
And moving through there.
Have you?
They have to. You know.
I've seen Paul. Listen. I've seen these images of stuff in the rings. I have seen those, and you should jump over to Twitter right now. There are some images that people are posting, so go and check those out. But I already know there's one ring there that is it's a solid thing that's, you know, it's not just ice things bouncing around. It's a solid thing that someone has built. Right. And it circles it. Okay, I'm going to go and check those out. You need to go over to Twitter right now and look at some of the images that people are posting. It's
okay.
It's pretty interesting. Paul, thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, my friend.
Thank you, my friend. Thanks for taking my call. I'm a little buzzed right now. I've been to go play a check in.
That's okay, man. go back, Tepe, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Good evening. This is Dave calling.
Hi, Dave.
Yeah, well, thank you for picking up. I've never listened to your show before, but I did see a video here recently, UFO. I think it was Mount Adams up Oregon Way. Is that you? Great. Well, I've been a pilot for about 52 years, and I'd like to share an experience I had in 2009. I was coming back from Canada. It was the Calgary Stampede. And we stopped in Bend, Oregon for fuel and a lunch. And after takeoff, I took a heading of 161 degrees magnetic, flying down into the Sacramento area. And I was cruising about 6,500 feet. And it was no more than an hour out of Bend. And I noticed looking down on I was the pilot on the left side, and I saw a white, it looked to me like a Learjet, if you're familiar, but not a Learjet. And it was flying a couple thousand feet below me. And I was thinking, my God, this guy's going to crash into the mountain. And it passed me. It didn't pass me. I cruised at about 200 miles an hour. And as it passed me and accelerated beyond my speed, it disappeared into the mountain. And here last year, I think there was a couple airliners out of Oregon and then some Air Force guys that saw a white flying object in the same area.
Right.
Off the Oregon coast. So that's about all I have to offer, but it's always puzzled me that this disappeared just into the mountain.
Right. So, that part of the country, and I can't explain what is going on, but from Shasta, south, all the way up over Bend, up into Washington and Mount Adams and Mount Rainier and that area up there, that part of the country, history speaks for itself. Okay, so there's that part of it. But I have been up there. You've seen the videos. I have posted and seen, along with hundreds and hundreds of other friends that have been up there with me. There is something going on. I can't explain it. You, as a pilot, you've seen it yourselves. You know that something is going on up there. But I can't explain the phenomenon. I don't know why it is. There's the volcanoes, the Native American culture that is up there holds everything is sacred. Then you throw in the Bigfoot side of things, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
There is something remarkable about that part of the country, and it's fun.
Well, something interesting. This was probably 40 years ago. I was flying into the Bay Area, into the San Jose airport area at night.
Right.
I was doing an instrument approach, and I broke out at about 1,000 feet. And there, just as I broke out, there was 3 lights, I would say, at probably a 30-degree descent, 3 of them, and they disappeared into San Francisco Bay. And I wasn't the only one that saw this. On the way home, I think we were listening to KGO at the time, and boy, the phones lit up, and everybody in that area saw these things. The next day, there was nothing added at all. I mean, there's no mention to it. So I've had a few experiences in my life. I grew up in the San Jose area, and if you have time, I'll share another story I had when I was a kid. Is there time for that?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Go ahead. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we were in the 8th grade. It was in November, and then we call it the Three Davids. We were walking over to a friend's house. Are you familiar with the San Jose area at all?
I am.
Oh, great. You know Stone Avenue?
I don't know. Well, I don't know streets, but I know that my father lived up there, and I spent a lot of time in San Jose, Milpitas.
I just want to know so if you had a sense of it. Anyway, there's Almaden Avenue and then Stone Avenue. In those days, took off from that at a slight angle, and it it ran behind the General Electric atomic plant. And this was a cold, November night. And as we were walking, now you got to think I'm nuts, but I'm just going to tell you. Off to the side of the road, on the road side of the fence to the General Electric property, there was a sphere. I would say, it's been 50 some odd years ago. It was iridescent, and it lifted off the ground, and we immediately jumped back, and the 2 Davids ran up a bit, and I ran up with them, and then we stopped and watched this thing, and it rose off the ground, and you can imagine 3 kids just following this with their eyes, and as we looked as it ascended, there was a large football-sized cigar. It disappeared into that, and that large object disappeared, gone. So, of course, we continued on and shared our story with the family that we were visiting, and they didn't believe us, of course. We had a debate, and the other 2 fellows wanted to go back that way, and I didn't, but, peer pressure, you're not going to be a chicken. So we did go back that way. And in the same area, again, this was a cold night, the same area, we walked through it, it was like going through an oven, maybe 50 feet or so, and then we came out the other side, and it was cold again. So that was kind of a manifestation of what we saw. There was something there.
How far away was it? How far away?
We were 10 feet from it.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh yeah, it was, I would say, in my memory, 2 foot diameter, maybe no more than that, maybe 30 inches. And it was iridescent, no sound, and it rose up, and we were like the Three Stooges looking up, and all of a sudden it disappeared into this huge object, and it was gone. So that's my experience in life, and I'm glad I had an opportunity to share with somebody.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And don't be a stranger. We love first-time callers here. But as a pilot and hearing these things, we need, the professional side of this to not only support this community, but to come forward, because most pilots won't. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. You have a pleasant evening.
Yeah, have a great weekend. That's a great phone call right there. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, am I live right now?
Yeah, you're live right now.
All right, Jimmy. Hey, man, this is Josh. I talked to you last night after the John Rice phone call. I'm from San Antonio.
Okay.
Military guy, talked about the MOS thing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. How are you?
Good, man. Hey, real quick here. I know you're almost wrapping things up for the night, but I wanted to kind of get deep with you a little bit, but I'll say it as quick as I can. It's something that I think about every day. And this is truth. And how do we define truth? And I'm talking about truth within, quote unquote, intelligent reasoning being taken into account. I'm talking about truth that people spend their lives trying to prove or convey, and how much trouble we have with that within our community, and people that look within our community, trying to spread the word and trying to awaken people to what's going on and things within our community. And I guess I have to revert back to what something your guest, Julia Mossbridge, said something the other night, something to the effect that the more you know, the more knowledge you gain in this life, the more questions you have, which basically means in the grand scheme, the bigger picture of things, we don't know anything. Mm-hmm. And I've heard you say this before.
Yep.
And how many times do you read or watch someone out there who is so quick to either endorse or stomp on someone else's testimony or their own personal truth or reality?
Right.
And when you take people to an example, people within our prominent people within this community like Moulton Howe, Greer, Dolan, Wilcock, Good, Smith, Alex Collier, Eisenhower, etc. There's so much information being put out there by these people and these organizations and these groups. How do we vet that information? And what organization or group can you really trust? Why can't any of these people seem to get along within our own community? You talk about the extreme left, you talk about the extreme right in politics.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that, I think that exists obviously within our community as well, right? I've been seriously following this subject when I have time since about 2009.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been interested in outer space and UFOs since I was a young kid. And my dad, like you talked about something about your parents, bringing you into this world when you were young. And it was the same for me. My dad was extremely open-minded. He was a military man himself. He had seen the world, and he brought me into this. And what kind of evidence do we say is one of the things I constantly hear is there's no FOIAs that we can bring up on this. There's no documentation to prove that what this person is saying is true. And we know and agree that the government tells lies and spreads disinformation all the time, but yet at the same time, some people want to rely on their documentation as the end-all, be-all evidence. When how can we really, how do we do, that's my question, is how do we vet that? How do we vet that information?
Well, see, I'll say this in a more direct sense. The person that experiences something that doesn't come away with something physical, that they can present as evidence. There are those out there that haven't had an experience, haven't seen something, hasn't been through it. So those are the ones that are going to say, well, what evidence do you have? Prove it. Well, look, there is nothing that can be done until something happens where we can come away with something. But I'm telling you right now, there is no way that anybody, and I don't care who it is, I don't care. It doesn't matter. When I tell you and explain to anybody where I have seen something in the sky, and I can point to 50 different experiences, but I'll go with one, which was the now famous Zorro Z that happened in the sky. Now, when that happened, there was probably 250 people that I was with. We were all standing there together, and this blue giant Z streaked across the sky, came across, zigzagged down, went across, fluttered, lasted for about 2 seconds. It was turquoise blue, giant, and flew across the sky and made this Z formation in front of everybody. Did I take a picture? No. Did I shake hands with an alien? No. Did I get a Zorro Z T-shirt? No. Is there any evidence is there anything I can say other than the experience?
Sure.
No. Does that mean it didn't happen? It happened, and nobody's going to tell me or the other 250 people that were there that it didn't happen, that we imagined it. And so that's it. How do you vet me? Well, vet me. I don't care. There were 250 people that were there that shared the experience. So now, is somebody going to come up and tell me that it wasn't E.T.? Prove it. Is somebody going to tell me that it was our craft, that it was the Air Force or some kind of spacecraft? Prove it. I don't know.
Prove that as well. Exactly.
I only have the experience, and that goes along with anybody else. So when somebody tells me, when they, tell me about an experience, they saw a sphere, they saw a glowing sphere, they saw a sphere with a being on the inside of it, they saw an orb or whatever. I've seen the same thing. Their experience is just as valid as mine. The ones that want to scream proof are the ones that have never had any experiences. And, I feel bad for them. It's a boring life. But all they have to do is come and hang out with us. That's all you got to do.
Right.
Come and hang out with us. I'll show you something, and it'll be a fun night. But that's all I've got, Josh, and I will stand by it. I will support this community, and that's really the truth. I don't care anymore. I just don't care.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And Stanton Freeman once said it best at I think the Disclosure Project when he said that nationalism is the only game in town, and that the unknown is the most interesting thing in the world that is out there right now. What's up above us? And lastly, I guess I'll leave you with this, Jimmy. And
you got 10 seconds.
That is one thing I wanted to add is that Corey, Wilcock, John, Emery, they're all saying consistent things within their stories. Mr. William Tompkins, as well as when he corroborated Corey's, they're all saying consistent things within their stories, all from different walks of life. I think that's very interesting.
Thank you, Josh. And with that, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Have a good one.
There you go. That's the last call tonight, all the way up to the end. Fader Night, Thursday night, best night of the week. Fade to Black's executive producers, Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vito, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast owned and copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. Thank you to everybody that called in tonight. An amazing Fader night. Twitter was on fire. And you can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Everybody have a great, safe, amazing weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Until then, be safe. Go Beckley Teppy.